Hello, I was going to do it sideways, but here we are. I felt like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of emotions are swimming and thoughts are swimming in my mind, but I can't see any of them, can't really grasp any of them. And, but kind of, I can one or two, and they're the ones that kind of inspired me or whatever to do a video. I just did performance week number 2 of performance week, and I cannot believe that I actually was able to sing loud, or I don't know if loud enough. And I really can't believe I did that, honestly, because I was so sleepy. I was so tired. I've been so out of breath, but I've been sleeping a bit better in the last few days. I think just subconsciously, I told my subconscious, like, I need sleep so I can do this week. So I can not, it wasn't about embarrassing myself. It was so I didn't disappoint the instructor, teacher. Gosh, I can't even think of the word. Anyways, so I did it. I actually didn't practice at all since, I mean, I practiced, I think, Saturday maybe, or Friday, or no, I think Saturday or Thursday a little bit, and that's it. And then a little bit today, just some moves that I didn't remember exactly and stuff. That's not why I always do this lately. That's not why I'm recording right now. I've been feeling a lot that I would love to be able to express, but the current relationships in my life, my friendships and family relationships, I don't feel like I have the space and the platform to be able to express the stuff. I feel like I need to be a certain thing to them. I need to be a certain way, or need to say certain things that they want me to say. And so I'm doing this here because this is our generation or whatever. This is available, or I don't know. Who cares? No one cares. There are two primary emotions that I've been feeling a lot lately, in a weird way, kind of sadness and anger. It was interesting because as I came downstairs just now after finishing kind of a snacky dinner, it's so late, I was thinking more about the anger of, I did want two things out of life. I wanted to find my partner, and I wanted to live out my life and my vocation, my calling, my passion, my whatever the heck you want to call it. And those were not together. I don't feel like my vocation is to be a mom or a wife or someone's partner. Some people do have that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think that people should be more proud if that's what they really feel called to be. And yeah, but for me, what I felt inside me, like as if almost I was born with this coding inside me for something, like when they teach you about, hopefully they still do this in school, because I don't know, the world is crazy right now in the US. But they teach you about cells, like we're born from a single cell, or like two cells that meet, whatever. And then we multiply, and there are these stem cells that can become any cell that makes up our body. All the organs that we have, everything come from these stem cells, and each stem cell is coded for a specific function, like to be a kidney cell or to be a skin cell or whatever. And I feel like it's that way. I feel like lately there's so much villainization of calling, like, oh, no one, not everyone gets to do what they love to do. Screw that. That's not what it is. This is kind of the gaslighting that's happening in so many different ways in the world and in the US. Like, oh, well, no one gets, clean water. That's um, it's not a given. It's who told you deserve that? That kind of mindset, I just don't understand. And it for sure comes from people who equally have that in them, have that their own calling, their own coding that they came into this world with. Um, but for some reason, externally or internally, they're not doing it, and like they want to bring everyone else down with them. And I don't think it comes necessarily from like a selfish place. I think it comes from a place of like just self-preservation. Like they need to come to prove that they are right so they can literally survive emotionally. Excuse me. Because if they're wrong, then the regret will probably eat them up, you know. I always think about that. I don't know if everyone, but I think a lot of people like that come from that place. Um but yeah, so my calling, when I was little, I remember it was just so vivid for me being on stage and performing and seeing people connect and be there for each other, together. Um, as I look into the audience, like the audience being there for me being there for them, and them being there for one another, and things like that. And um, for some reason, I was coded for that dream of singing and dancing and performing and connecting through music. And I was also not, at least apparently, given a gift for singing. For dancing, it's interesting because tonight one of the classmates came over and said, "Are you a dancer?" And I'm like, "No." But I've always danced and made my own choreography, but I've never really trained. There was like tidbits of like a little ballroom dancing, and I think that's it. um, and I forgot. Sorry, you'll have to bear with me because my brain does this a lot lately. Um, yeah, so dancing was always in me. It was inseparable. It wasn't I'm a singer or I'm a dancer. It was inseparable. I don't even know of a proper word to use for the career, the vocation, the whatever that I visualized, that I had, the coding for in some weird way. Um, but yeah, I did not have the voice, not on the surface. I think a lot of the voice issues come from environmental factors of being a woman, sure. I mean, I don't mean to discredit that. A theory, a voice teacher told me about that, and she told me about a book I forgot to read. Um, but I think I see a lot of patterns repeating for some reason with everyone that comes close in my life to me. And it's this like, I end up being like the scapegoat somehow. And I don't know, I don't really know the mechanisms. I know I somehow invite that in, and I also know somehow um I let that happen, or people maybe just do that anyways, and it just kind of works for me. I don't really know. So I think like dynamics like those also kind of influenced my voice, my lack of control over my voice. And ironically, when I say that, I mean that I was too tense. I was like, I just hold on to dear life when it comes to my voice. I'm not free. I don't let it, come out. And there's actually years ago, I remember I would have so much like tension. Like it was like this like stopper somewhere around like between my, throat and I don't know, chest or something, where like the energy would just stop. It would just stop, and it would give me like actual issues, like physical pain and physical issues in my throat or in my chest. A lot of like just static tension. It was so strange. Thinking about it now, it's a little less strange, but yeah. um and yeah, the last few years I completely went off the path, like completely. I haven't even sang in my car or anything for years, for 2 years or so. I didn't dance, same thing. I would dance. My ex and I broke up a year ago at some point, or 2 years ago, and I danced then, and then not much since. There was like like not social dancing. There was another time that I did social dancing. um he was there actually for that one, and I think he definitely saw it. Like I just felt so like happy that day, that night, that like they were playing for some reason, just like good song after good song for that moment, like anyways. And here I was like when she announced performance week. um I got excited and I got nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't choreographed, I haven't made a song, I haven't made a dance, I haven't done any of this in so long, and I'm so out of shape, and I didn't even notice that until the last few weeks, when not only am I out of shape, but also my sleep is so bad, and my anxiety like is so high, and I'm someone who is somewhat used to anxiety, so I didn't really notice until the last couple of weeks. I've not been able to breathe really well and catch my breath, and I like wake up from these like stress dreams, I call them, like anxiety. They're not really nightmares, they're just, I just wake up um stressed, and I wake up with my teeth like, I just noticed like I have like chipped my teeth, and because I'm just like so holding on tight, and I don't have much control over that, not instantly, or I should say instantly. I can release if I'm aware of it, but it goes right back because I can't be present every single moment. It has to be subconscious. The relaxation and the lack of anxiety needs to be subconscious, on the subconscious level. Like consciously, that's not where anxiety lies, in the conscious. Anyways, um, it's been interesting. It's, I think, brought me a little bit more determination. Um, because I started working out a little bit more, and by working out, meaning going to, or like putting Zumba videos online, or I just signed up for this other gym, and I'm like, I already signed up for the community center, or why, blah blah blah. But I'm like, I don't know, it wasn't like a determination that I could feel it as like strong as I used to have my whole life. But it's like it's kind of like a weak determination. Like the muscle is kind of there, kind of engaged, but not really. And and yeah, I don't know if it'll keep going, because I don't know. I never know that. Um I I don't know. I feel very okay. Let me go to the next or the other part. So I said there were two things that I always wanted. The other one was finding my partner and honestly having like our little family and having kids and things. And it wasn't in the traditional sense. I didn't see like a suburban or even urban lifestyle of like having this job and you have like every weekday you go to work and you come home and you have a family. I always saw myself as a creative career person. Like in middle school, I started thinking of film and acting, and in college or my master's, I started thinking of going into directing, and I discovered directing, and I love that. And I always saw a family that was like different, not only in that aspect, but also in the aspect that I didn't really see in my life around me, that kind of unity that is palpable and apparently said to be rare, maybe. I didn't think it was rare. I just thought that actually I saw enough of it somewhere that I wanted it, that it wasn't like foreign and like crazy. Um, but this just love and unity and um calm and peace. And when I came downstairs, I thought, and I didn't think I would do a video. It's interesting because I do these like videos sometimes during the day or whatever, and I feel like I've only posted these moments where I'm like, I have something to say, and I'm just going to be imperfect, and I'm gonna just post it as is and whatever. But yeah, as I came downstairs, I thought, I am angry because, yeah, I know I can be like technical about it and I can be, deep and introspective about it and whatever. And that has its time and it'll come. But in this moment, I also want to allow myself to experience everything that's like coming as it comes and not judge it and try to force it and change it, because even if it's wrong or like it needs polishing, it's not exactly polished or whatever, it's something and it just needs to get out and has its own right to exist. And yeah, tonight I felt very angry that he took that away from me, to be very blunt, which I'm not much these days. This is the first time I've said it even to myself, I feel like. Not the first time, maybe the second or third time that I've said that to myself, and definitely not to anyone else. Um, because I don't have anyone that I can be myself and just like talk through things, like I have to already have the answer and I have to already have processed through these moments and be um I don't even know the word, be polished, I don't know, like not be raw, but just already, yeah, have had the answer or like have done the work or whatever. That's what I have around me right now, which, is fine. And I am not complaining too much about that either. Like, something's better than nothing. And, I am definitely more understanding that people are coming from wherever they're coming from. It doesn't mean that I need to just settle for that in general, but I need to settle for that when it comes to those particular people, because that's the best they can do. And it's they can do other things that maybe someone else can't do, and all whatever. But yeah, I'm angry that, like, the only two things I ever wanted. Well, there's a third thing too, which is a group of friends. And actually, yeah, that still applies. Those three things were becoming a reality when he and I met. And all those three things are so far away right now. And two of those things seem incredibly impossible, that I'm too old and too damaged and too broken to, like, in a way, even have a regular job right now. Like, my nervous system is so to the ground. I'm sorry, I'm just so tired of, like, saying the right thing, and, like I said, just being already polished and already, like, processed through all of this stuff. So yeah, my brain just, it's like, oh, too much emotion, too much, shut down. We don't need to think about those things. So I kind of lost my train of thought in this moment. Not very often I had the courage, the strength to, the whatever, to go for it. And I was really doing that in 2017. And as a result, I remember just how great it felt. I was um, on part of a play for the first time, and I never thought I would do a play, and it was in Spanish, and it was just like amazing. And the director fought for me to be there because I was technically not Hispanic, and so they kind of felt kind of uncomfortable about that. But the character was an American woman. I'm not American either, but she was, I guess, technically not Hispanic, but kind of, but like born in America or something, anyways. But I like, she saw in me something that was worth fighting for. And the friends were kind of like developing, or at least the circle, the net, like, not network, but the community was kind of developing. um and when, and I also, um I think before he came into my life, I don't know, like, right, literally right before, maybe like during, after he did. But I remember I was finally ready to be with someone who knew what he wanted, not what I got, who was secure and confident, not what I got, who was ready to be in a relationship, so far from what I got, I was ready to be treated well. And before, I used to kind of just accept whatever and felt like this like kind of idea of like love first in a way or whatever. I guess you could say even attraction first or hmm, I don't know. I don't really know what it was. But I wasn't really feeling very comfortable with being, as I would call it, mushy and like, excuse me, and like being loved, being treated right. I um was either like, oh, I don't need it, I'm strong enough to like carry that for the both of us, or I wasn't comfortable with it, or at different times, one more than the other. And around the time that he came up, um I remember I even wrote it and I couldn't find it, but I remember distinctly. I was in this workshop in the same, school, acting school that I am back to now, but a different location. And I remember it was like, I think a Saturday morning, and it was this like, it was either a class or a workshop. And I was jotting down like who I let go and what I let go of and what I invite into my life or whatever. And I remember the first disappointment and the first moment of like, not it. Was but first came something that was it. But the first one was on my birthday that year when I got out of class early so I could spend time with him as well as like my family and do my class. The class was for me, the family time was for the family, and the time with him would have been a bit for him and a bit for me. It was like kind of for us. And it was a new relationship, or so I thought. And I remember I was in this belief, honestly, that not even one card, one carnation, whatever, I was really floored. I still, to this day, I have said it so many times, and I still think like, I can't even wrap my mind around that. And I think because before, maybe I wouldn't have expected it, or I would feel even uncomfortable about it. But I think it was a combination of I was ready for like someone that was like serious and was, I don't know, a good person, and um I don't know, did that. And yeah, like someone who was serious, like a serious person, not like a fool. And also partly because I somehow actually truly loved him. And there was something about him too. So it wasn't just like, oh yeah, I was ready and, just cut and paste, this person. It was like him too, and it was like the combination too. So I so that was like, I think the first betrayal that I felt. And also later that same night, that maybe was, I remember thinking like, this is not like sane what just happened. And yeah, I just, yeah, but I stayed for years. Um and I'm not saying that he's a bad guy or anything like that. I have no idea right now to even really truly say anything like that. I'm just speaking about my experience and my crossing of my own boundaries. And um even when I say that I'm angry at him for taking away potentially like completely, like wasting not my time but my life, and taking away the two things that were the most important for me, that I can't really make up for. I can't really have like, I keep feeling like I might like be, it sounds, I don't know how this sounds, but like I keep searching about menopause and stuff, and I'm like, but I can't like now, and I can't like, there's a lot of people that have said like, well, just a lot of people, a couple of people, I don't have that many people in my life, that said, to like save your eggs or whatever. I'm like, with what money? I don't have money because I couldn't like, this relationship took everything from me in a way that I can't even describe. And I was so, this whole thing started over the weekend with Easter and the flashback to Christmas and to this idea that I feel like easily, without living in my shoes and knowing much, and not, I don't think they were allowed to know me that much, and I'm sure his family like is thinking that he's better off without me, because of the optics that easily could be shown to them, and the little that they did see of me and stuff. And that got me like really sad and or angry, I don't remember which. But this part of like, yeah, this part of the family, the because also I'm not, it's like it's not like you can just pick up and like, okay, next, like you can't. If you want something real and serious and you want to be able to, do real and serious, like when you're this damaged, you can't just like pick up and like just next. um some people do, some people successfully, some people not successfully. But even when I say that, it's not really a reflection of him. Because in some ways I don't even know who he really is as himself. Like his inner world, I and no one will really ever know. Just like for me, no matter, the more I share, the more you might be able to know a lot of it and get to know a lot of my inner world. But it's never going to be to the level that I know it because I'm with it every single moment of every single day. And humans are so complex that, you know, it's just there's so many paradoxes in us. And so, I'm not saying this, A, I'm not saying anything to, I'm not doing it for him. I'm not saying any of it to paint a certain picture about him or make you think anything about it. It has nothing really to do with him. I mean, it kind of does, I guess, but like I'm not doing it as like revenge or as like, or even like saving him or protecting him or anything. I'm not doing any of that for him. I've done that in a way for years, so I know I'm doing whatever I say, whatever it's about me and my process, and sometimes just needing to be free to express something um and whatever, and yeah. um and at the same time, I'm also not, um I guess I kind of said it, like I'm not um even saying this, what I'm saying now, in order to like again paint a different picture of him or like protect him or anything. Like it's really, I don't know how to explain it. If you've gone through something like this, especially like when you're not, in that place where you're like blaming the other person or whatever. I know I said that I'm angry because he did this and all that. He took this away from me. I'm saying like blaming as far as like, without a self awareness that it's not really like that. And, we have a lot of responsibility in what happened to us and all that stuff. Like, um, yeah. So, if you're aware of, you know, tough situations in life, um, you understand that at the end of the day, it's really not about whoever I would be talking about. Um, yeah, this is the thing. Like, I want to have at least one place where I can connect with people that I don't need to say the right things, and they can understand that it's not necessarily my truth, or the not my truth, but the ultimate truth is just like how I feel in that moment, or it has its own value because of its own value, and it's not polished, it's not the right thing, it's not the best thing, whatever. I don't know. And I want to be like honest. I don't want to like have to pretend. Like, that's kind of really stressful right now, because as I'm trying to kind of get some sort of life back, which I don't even know that I can, it's stressful that I need to be a specific person and I cannot just be myself. And ironically, with him, I feel like I was able to be a lot more myself than with anyone else, almost anyone else. And it wasn't about, the any specific emotion or anything. It was just that, like, there were a lot of times when I felt like he, not initially, because he did have that, like, I need to fix it kind of mentality. Like, not just men, so everyone pretty much has that mentality. And I remember, learning about why we do that from Dr. Kirk Honda. Awesome guy. Watch his YouTube if you feel inclined to. um but yeah, so but he would also be kind of, he's in my life, he's been the only person who like would take a beat and be like, okay, if you don't need this, like, let me swallow my pride for a little bit. This is not about me. You're going through this. What do you need? Not exactly in those words, but pretty much the same, like, action and place that he was coming from. So, you know, it's interesting. And maybe, that's kind of like what I'm missing now. Anyways, so yeah. The family stuff, like, it came because I was watching The Masked Singer, and it was so much about family, about like wives and about children. And I was thinking about how, like, I don't know that I'll ever know what it's like to be actually loved, like these people, the way they talk and the way that they support one another and all this stuff. Like, I don't think anyone will like talk like that about me or feel like that about me and want me to succeed like that, like my family. My mom, she wants me to succeed in her own way, not in what would make me happy and feel successful, but like what she has in her mind would make me happy and successful. So, not the same. Um, but someone to like know your heart and know what's important to you and see through you and into like you, into your core, and be there and support you and be your cheerleader. And yeah, and I think I needed that so much that I was trying to be that for him and for everyone else, because I needed it. And I felt so like at some points like, hello, like, why are they not getting the message maybe sometimes. And I wasn't doing it for them to do it for me, but I think part of it was like I was doing what I needed, because we all do that. Um, and we all need support, and we all need champions and cheerleaders for sure. But yeah, and then the other part is like to go home to somebody and to have that familiarity and relief and moment at the end of the days. And I know so many people have so like stressful relationships in the world, and it's not always like that. um I'm talking, like but generally, when you hear people talk about their spouses and like how much they care that they're okay and that they're good and that they're happy, um and vice versa and stuff like that. And in class today, there are a couple of people that I guess have children. I wonder if they're like together. I don't know. I was wondering that the last time. Um, Sorry, I itch. Whew, man. Uh, and I didn't take my makeup off, so anyways. Um, yeah, I just felt like, well, I guess like it's maybe that time to let go of that, like it's just not for me. And I guess for me, it's like, I don't know, it sounds so crazy. So crazy to never know love, and to never like know how to be loved, or not how to be loved, but how it feels to have someone love you that much, or love you, period, I would say. And um yeah, it's just kind of crazy. It's just kind of crazy. And I don't know, I got angry, and then I got, at first I was more like defeated, like I guess it's not for me, I guess, that. And then I got angry, and here we are. And you know I don't know, I'm trying to accept that I don't know how to get and where to get to. I don't think that I can accomplish much, not only because my age, a little bit because of my age, but there's plenty of people that do things around my age, but like, um I'm just so broken. I'm like physically so exhausted, so much fatigue. I am in such high anxiety, which is probably the reason for the fatigue. When your subconscious and conscious or are like going like nonstop, and you have not even a direction, because any direction feels like it's just literally way too much, like it needs more fuel, or it needs like you to be at a different level. Like if you go with like games, like you need to be a level like, or 3 or 5 levels above of the level you're at to be able to accomplish and whatever you want to accomplish. So you kind of give up on that too. And um like with this acting class, I told someone, and I was I felt weird their response, but I told them how like I don't think, I'm I'm going to ever be a good actress. Like, I'm not doing this for that because I don't think I'm good. And they're like, well, then why are you doing it? And maybe not, they didn't mean it that way. Maybe, I don't know. But that's eh, how I took it. That's how it came through the writing of it. And in a way, I'm like, well, it's not really, I guess, any of your business. But because it sounded judgmental, it almost sounded like, they'll tell on me if I'm not in it for the right reasons. I'm so fed up with like being perfect, like needing to be perfect. Otherwise, I don't deserve love and I don't deserve like human needs, like. Of course, like most things, that started in childhood and with caretakers. um, but yeah, I'm just so like I can't do that. Like I'm, I just can't care to be perfect because it's gotten me nowhere. It's, like no matter how good of a girl I was, I didn't get loved. I didn't get like picked on the team. I didn't get anything. And I don't want to be bad. I'm not saying like, oh, I'll be a bad girl. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that because that's not authentic to me. But I don't want to try so hard, But then again, like, I just can't even try anything. I can't even try to not try hard. And time is like flying by so fast. And this is so indulgent and this is so stupid, but who cares? Literally, no one cares. Like, if you're watching this, you care for whatever reason. Maybe you care because it makes you feel better about yourself and about your life. Maybe, you're like putting me down in your mind, or maybe on a comment or whatever, like, oh, you're pathetic or whatever, and it's making you feel better, or you care because you identify with this and you um feel like maybe you're getting something from this, or like you're just like empathizing or whatever. But generally, people, I feel like, just don't care. I'm just one tiny little human in this whole world. And why should I care that much about showing up in the perfect way and saying the perfect thing and not being careful of what I say and all this stuff? Like, there's so much value in that, and I'm not saying there's no value in that, and that I should all just like say just complete whatever. And the thing is, like, I wouldn't even be saying anything crazy or crazier than this or whatever. It's not like I walk around with just a lot of thoughts that I'm just censoring all the time. And I'm pretty much not the person that is the poster um for censorship. I have my moments, but if you know me, like, I'm pretty not censored. And yeah, but I'm more censored now than ever, and a lot of it is for like trying to be safe in many different ways. Like, one way is, like with the people that I do have right now in my life, to not push them away too, or again, or whatever. So I need to behave. I need to say the right things, or I need to like watch out from saying certain things. Like the other day, I said to my friend something, and she said that, one of my friends, and she said, Well, you don't need to focus that on that now, you need to focus on this. And I'm like, but who are you to tell me that? Like, whatever, okay. Like, so yeah, like, I just feel frustrated because, like, I know, like, what? But I couldn't say anything because I can't, lose that friendship. And I, most of it, 80% of it, or 90% of it, or whatever, that I think the percentage changes every day, but a lot of it, most of it is good. So it's like, for this one moment, and we've had this conversation so many times, like, long before this ex showed up in my life. She just doesn't have that self-awareness or that empathy kind of thing. But she's a good soul, she's a good person, and she means well. So it's like one of those moments that's like, okay, just pick your battles and whatever. um yeah, so yeah, but it is frustrating that I don't have a friend that I can just say something, and I don't need to be perfect. I don't need to be healed, and I don't need to be wherever they think I should be, and to do and think whatever they think I should do or think or whatever. I don't know. I'm just going in circles right now. I don't know. This is mostly my frustration with my life and how I feel so overwhelmed, and I feel maybe for the first time I am actually behind, and I feel too little and I think too much. And it's frustrating. I feel like these classes are even such a waste because I she changed the structure, so it's like I'm overpaying right now. Before, like, it would be a bit more of a fair value for someone in my position that needs to, like, access their emotions and things, and excuse me, not be shut down and, emotionally unavailable, and whatever. I don't think I'm really avoidant or dismissive avoidant. I think I'm I find myself quite present and emotional, sort of, but it's this layer of superficiality. Like, I don't go that deep, or I don't. Sometimes I have been affected deeply. I don't know. It's just like a hit or miss, and it's not that consistent, and it's really frustrating. And I find myself more frustrated that I can't get into my feelings. I can't get to that place that was just so, it felt great and people enjoyed. Like, remember, you know, doing different exercises or different moments in the play that I was doing and stuff, and like, it was it was helping. I was helping by being there. And now I find myself like wanting, like, there's these three people that are really new, and they're amazing. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to for them to be at the emotional prep stage, or um like even relationship stage, to work with them. But then I also think, like, I'm not worthy of working with them. Like, they're so good, so much beyond me. And I don't know, I'm just like all over the place right now. Wow, 54 minutes. Well, enjoy, you know? I am literally too disabled right now to, like, edit these and really do a great job with these. And And I think sometimes, like, oh, do I want this stuff out there? Because I should be, polished and should be careful. And, it should be like, if I want to grow my audience or this or that, I need to, like, not be, or like keep myself emotionally safe or whatever. I need to not be as transparent or not be whatever. Then I think, well, just whatever, arena. It seems like the world is coming to an end soon anyway, so like just who cares or whatever. And it's not like, this is working that much anyways, what you've been doing for yourself or for like your ventures or whatever. I'm not even making sense right now. I don't know. I feel like you'll get a bit more of these. I had a breakdown on the live stream yesterday because the internet wasn't working and I felt so alone, and I felt so much pressure because people were waiting for me, and because I saw like the number on my phone of people that were watching and I couldn't get to them. Like it was just crazy, just not working. Like nothing was working. And um I don't know. I wish I could even at least relax and just truly just like give up and just let go and just sleep and eat and enjoy the sunshine and whatever, but I can't. Back to that coding that's inside of us, it's still there. I barely can access it. Like I said, I've not sang in a couple of years. I've not danced in a couple of years. And talk about like creativity and creative ventures and stuff. I've not written songs in 2 years. It's as if like somehow everything got locked away and I cannot access it. Like I don't have the password for it. No one has a password. I don't know. I guess sometimes I just go back to what made me do any of it to begin with. What started it all? Go back to the building blocks. Go back to square one or zero. And somehow I always find myself to these kind of videos or these kind of thoughts, just kind of being very reflective externally, very expressive about my thoughts and my emotions and my perspective in that moment, even though tomorrow it could be very different. And also just accepting that, because for all of us, like everything changes all the time. Doesn't make this moment less truthful or less valuable or more truthful or more valuable. And the best, I feel like the only thing I can do is just like kind of put one foot in front of the other right now. And this is the one foot, and it might be the wrong foot, but it's a foot. I don't think that I've ever felt lonely or alone. I think this is new for the past few months, especially maybe the last year, but Yeah, that's how I feel. I was looking at my bed and I was like, oh, I'm about to go to bed, and I don't feel alone, like no one's sleeping with me kind of thing, and I'm alone in the bed. Kind of sometimes a little bit, but like not really. It's more like when you go to sleep, that's when it kind of all settles on you, and because like you'll wake up tomorrow if you're lucky, and most of the time, most of us are, and you wake up tomorrow, and I mean, it's scary if you don't wake up, and it's also scary if you wake up and you know that you won't have anything more than what you have now, that you won't have the things that are missing, the energy, the lack of anxiety, the community, the money. I haven't really talked about money in this one, but like that's a big stressor. Even being at home, it's a huge stressor because I'm not like 20 where, my mom was making food more, now she's not making almost anything. So it's all dependent on me. And I'm honestly like right now I'm kind of in a place where I can't really take care of myself. So like the reason that I have to, and thankfully I don't have rent, but I lived through 2 years of that, going through this and rent. Um, but yeah, it's like you, you kind of dread going to sleep because A, you don't wake up and that's like terrifying enough, or B, you wake up and you get blamed because you're not doing better and you are doing more than you are even able to do. And yet, that more than you're able to do is not enough. Not enough for you and not enough for everyone else. So, yeah. Welcome to a not so happy snapshot of my life. There are happy snapshots too. Um, but yeah. I'm just so frustrated that I'm not so many things. I'm not who I used to be, that I'm not myself, that I'm not better, that I'm not what I need to be. Yeah. Anyways, talk to you later, I guess. Cool. Peace, love, and compassion. Bye.